Welcome to my channel. In this video, you're going to learn about graphing linear functions. There are different ways on how we can graph linear functions. So again, what is a linear function? A linear function is a function whose graph is a straight line. It can be written in the form f of x is equal to mx plus b or ax plus by is equal to c. And in function notation, read as f of x, okay? Now, f of x is also the same as y. So if I have y is equal to 3x minus 2, I can rewrite this as f of x is equal to 3x minus 2. Now, in f of x, that is what we call the name of the function. And that is what we call, x is what we call the domain or the input. And this is the function rule, this one. It means it tells you what to do. And once you perform that, that is what we call the output or the range. Now, a linear function can be written in the form f of x is equal to mx plus b. And that is what we call the slope-intercept form. And that is m is what we call the slope, and the b is what we call the y-intercept. Now, if I have f of x is equal to 3x plus 4, here m is what we call the slope, and that is equal to 3, and b or the y-intercept is equal to 4. What does y-intercept means? It means that y-intercept means the graph crosses the y-axis at 0 point. So 0 is x, y is 4. Or the value of the y-coordinate is 4. Now, if I have f of x is equal to 3/4 x minus 5, m is what we call the slope, and that is 3/4. And b or y-intercept is equal to -5. So now I just want to show to you the different graphs of a linear function. So I have that. Okay. Now, how are we going to graph linear functions? So there are different ways on how you can graph. The first one is using the slope-intercept form. And that is the f of x is equal to 3x plus 4. Wherein we need the slope and the y-intercept. So simply here, how to graph this is you start with the y-intercept. The value of b is 4. That means that x is 0 and y is 4. Now, we can use the slope, which is rise over run. So what are we going to do now to graph? It starts with this point. 0 is x. This is the x-axis. And this is the y-axis. Okay, or f of x. Now, this is the x-axis. Okay, now it means 0, 4. So 0 is x and 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the first point. We just need 2 points in order to determine a line. So now we're going to use the slope to find the second point. We can use the rise over run. Understood, there is a denominator 1. So from this point, it means we are going to go up. This is the rise, 3, positive. So going up 3, 1, 2, 3. And then a run of 1. It means going to the right because 1 is positive, so here. That's the point, the second point. And down you can connect that, and that's the graph of this linear function. So this is one way of graphing using the slope-intercept form. So here's another example of using the slope-intercept form. So I have here f of x is equal to 2/3 x minus 5. So the slope now is 2/3, and the y-intercept or b is equal to -5. So first, we're going to use the y-intercept to locate the points. -5 is simply here. It means 0, -5. So the point is here, the y-axis. And then the slope, the rise is 2, going up 2 units. And the run is 3, means going to the right because this is positive, 3 units. So count 1, 2, and then to the right, 1, 2, 3. So that's the second point. and then connect the 2 points. That's the graph of this linear function. Another way to graph linear functions is using the intercepts, or the x-intercept and the y-intercept. What do you mean by x-intercept? X-intercept is the point where the graph crosses the x-axis, and y-intercept is the point where the graph crosses the y-axis. So when we want to solve for the x-intercept, we let y is equal to 0. And for the y-intercept, we let x is equal to 0. So if we have f of x is equal to 2x minus 4, we know that f of x is the same as y, is equal to 2x minus 4. Now, it means that we can substitute y with this value of y is equal to 0. And then what we're going to do now is to solve for x, or isolate x. To isolate x, we need to add 4 on both sides of the equation to remove here. So what we have now is 2x is equal to 4. And then divide both sides by 2 to solve for x. This is 2 divided by 2 is 1, so x is equal to 2. So the point now is 2, 0. That's where the graph crosses the x-axis. Now, for the y-intercept, we let x is equal to 0. So y is equal to 2 times 0 minus 4, which means that y is equal to negative 4 because 2 times 0 is 0. And now the point is 0, negative 4. That's where the graph crosses the y-intercept, or the y-axis. Now, let's plot this point. So we can have 2 for x, 0 for y. So 2 for x here, that's the first point. And 0, negative 4 means 0 for x, negative 4 for y. And that's the second point. Then you can connect the graph. That's the graph of this function. So that's how you're going to graph using the x and the y intercepts. Another way to graph is by finding the value or assigning values for x. Here I have find f of negative 2, f of negative 1, f of 0, f of 1, f of 2. But actually here you can only use any 2 points. I just want to show how you're going to do it. So in any 2 points, you can use this one, or any of this, negative 1 or 0, because we need only 2 points to determine a line. So if you're given here, f of x is equal to x plus 4, I'm going to show how to find, so you're going to master how to compute. It means find f of negative 2. Just simply substitute that. So that is f of negative 2 is equal to negative 2 plus 4. Substitute this x with negative 2. So negative 2 plus 4 is simply 2. And f of negative 1 plus 4, that is 3. F of 0 means 0 plus 4, that is 4. And f of 1, simply 1 plus 4, that is 5. And f of 2 is equal to 2 plus 4, that is, f of 2 is 6. And then you can now plot the points. So that's the first one, negative 2, 2. Next is negative 1, 3. So negative 1, 3. That's the second point. 0, 4. So 0 is x, 4 is y. And then we have 1, 5. So 1 is x, 5 is y. And then 2, 6. So 2 is x, 6 is y. Okay, so you see, even you're going to assign more than 2 values of x here, it will just continue going up there and extend also going down. That's the reason why I use 5 points here instead of 2. Just to show to you that whatever the value of x that you are going to assign, it will just going to continue going up straight line. It's not gonna make any curve or like that. It's just going to continue. So that's the graph of this function. So that's all for this video, and thank you for watching. See you on the next one. Bye!